Jordan, how we doing?
I'm doing great. You sound so surprised. Keep going.
No, happy, not surprised. Not surprised. Where does, given all of the situation in its entirety, with the weather, with the opponent, where does Sunday's game rank for you in terms of physically demanding games you've played in on the Eagles?
Definitely top two.
Wow, is there another one that pops into your head, by the way, when you say that?
Yeah, Chicago 2022.
Okay.
It was colder.
It was cold out there. Yeah, that's the game Jalen got injured in.
That wind chill was no joke.
Yeah, but I played in a couple of those games, man. Coming off Lake Michigan there, that's pretty it's pretty cold out there in Chicago.
Pretty cold.
Yeah. Other than that, though, it looks like you guys were having fun out there Sunday, man. Just, pounding on someone else. Pause, my bad. But just basically beating up another defensive front and getting after them from running the football standpoint. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, comparing Sunday to when you guys played them that first time around, was there anything different, or was it just a matter of time before you guys felt like you were going to break a couple of big runs there?
Probably felt like a matter of time, really. Just trying to figure out what they were throwing at us in the early downs, and then get into a rhythm from there. So, yeah, it was pretty similar to what we saw in the regular season. But man, gotta give credit, man. That's a good front that they have there.
Now I got to give you credit, man. That first touchdown run from Jalen, he had a lead blocker down the field. I look up and it's you. You know what I mean? I look up and it's you down the field.
To a defender. I'm defending to the defender. On that play, I wasn't sure if he. I thought he handed it off to Faye, because when I pulled, there was just no one. So I'm thinking, okay, the defense have, they've all chasing the ball to the left. So I slowed down to, just to take a peek, just in case Jalen did keep it. And Lord and behold, he's right there behind me. So I try to start the car up again, and I'm like, all right, gotta get going. Got to block somebody. Got to try to block somebody. I just got in his way, to be honest.
I tell you though, man, that can't be easy for you, O lineman. You just described something that I think most people may not be aware of, but you go through that play fake. You don't know if Saquon has the ball going to the left or Jalen is coming through there behind you. So I'm interested. Is that you just got to block regardless, no matter what, or how do you? I'm just wondering how you go through that play and you're not really for sure who's behind you with the ball.
Yeah, usually on that play, I'm going to be blocking somebody when I pull into that gap.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem was there was no one to that I was blocking, because they had obviously I don't want to get too football-y, make it look like I know something, but basically
I hope you do.
Nah, man, because I know peanuts. I don't know about football. Basically, there was no one for me to pull in for, so yeah. I just kind of was like, okay, maybe they're chasing, the misdirection the other way or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, the guy was behind me, and I was like, oh, I'll start the car up again.
Related to that, it seems like this year they've called more illegal man downfield penalties than I've seen in the NFL, not just in Eagles games, but in general, and it's always an offensive lineman. That how difficult, I don't want to get you in trouble here, I'm just trying to get your perspective on how difficult that is to manage, because it seems like a question of what you think is happening behind you is what you have to judge.
Yeah, that's more of a timing thing. Like we're clearly aware of plays where, we don't have to be downfield, so it's a timing thing on an offensive line part. Mm-hmm. So short and sweet answer for you, Spike.
So there's one of the Saquon runs, you can see maybe 2 seconds after Jalen hands him the ball, his arms are up. He knows it's a touchdown. like, how many times do you get to see it that early, or are you so busy with the guy right in front of you that Saquon could be, off to the races and you're still doing your job? Do you ever get the chance to enjoy it as early as Jalen did?
No, I'm not. If you see that play that you're talking about, I'm too busy talking to my friend there that I'm blocking.
Right.
And I'm telling him he's going to the house. He's going to the house. So that was just as enjoyable as, watching it.
Right.
And then turning around and seeing that he actually went to the house. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he did. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool for everyone, You guys, and the whole time we've talked about it, I think there's been a lot of praise for Saquon, and rightly so, but we always end up circling back to it being a unit with you guys and him. And I know the job is not done, and I'm not talking about it as past tense, but you guys must be proud of what you've accomplished in that respect with him this year.
Yes, there is an immense, feeling that we're very, very thankful for each other. I think we complement each other well. And again, I just think that starts in the off season. You build that relationship personally, and then when you come into the building, you build that professionally. And the guy does a great job of communicating with us and just making sure that we're all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
So. And we're pretty lucky, man. We're pretty lucky to have found each other. Thank you, Howie.
I tell you, man. I tell you, Jordan, it was from a viewer standpoint, watching the game, the snow, watching how the first half, at least the 2/3 or a third of the first half was pretty much clear, and then the second half was pretty much snow, and you can't see the numbers on the field. It's great football viewing pleasure for us as fans. I'm wondering from your perspective and being down there with your teammates, and particularly on the offensive side of the ball, what was that like for you playing in that type of weather? You weren't here 10 years ago or 12 years ago when the Snow Bowl happened. So this was really the first time you guys got a chance to play in this type of weather. What was that like for you and your linemen out there Sunday?
It was fun, and that moment's not fun. The conditions made it hard to execute plays, but that's not an excuse. That's just like something that we all have to deal with and play through. Mm-hmm. But that's the truth. As in terms of like vision, you could clearly see them. Their bright blue helmets popped out like an eyesore. So I think from a physicality standpoint, we're not on the field long enough to be warm. So like it was just cold the whole time that you're in the huddle, or the 5 seconds that you're executing a play, you're warm, and then you go back to the huddle. So I was pretty happy that we were going no huddle at points in the game, just because it was keeping us warm, keeping us fresh, and keeping it going. So
Sunday, Washington, the third time you guys have played them. The first one was a pretty tight game, and then you guys lose a tight game the second time. Yep. And a team that's playing really well right now. An advantage for you playing, I know you're going to hear this question 600 times, but it's an interesting answer. An advantage playing a team the third time, a disadvantage? How do you look at it?
Just another game that we get to play. Another game that we get to prepare for. The best part about it is that we're familiar with this opponent. But man, you got to treat it like it's just the next game. And I don't know how else to answer that. That's how we go about business. You can't change what you've been doing the last 20 weeks just because you've seen them and they've been close games. Like how we prepare is just going to be the same way, that we've been doing it. Obviously, learn from our mistakes, but when I look at this team, yes, they've improved since the last time we saw them. And, playing at home is going to be a great advantage for us because our fans are great.
That's what I wanted to ask you about.
They get to come here into the Dragon Pit, whatever you want to call it, and, experience that. So it's going to be a good game this week, good on good.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. And listen, you do a great job of compartmentalizing things and trying to keep the main thing. But we as fans, we get to look ahead a little bit. We get to dare to dream. Man, this is another it's another conference championship game for you. Your second one at home with the opportunity to obviously go play in the Super Bowl. Got to be pretty special knowing you got this game at home with what's on the line. You just mentioned it a little bit. You touched on it. But just that atmosphere, what it was like for you guys a couple of years ago going up against San Francisco, I'm pretty sure you're hoping for that same type of atmosphere come Sunday.
I'm not hoping. I know that's the same type of atmosphere we're going to get.
Okay.
I know that the fans are going to turn up. They're going to create that atmosphere. No doubt in that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I compartmentalize everything. When I'm at work, it's the next game. But when I take a step back, I understand the stakes.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what's up for grabs. So don't get me wrong. I know what I'm playing for, but when you're actually playing, you just gotta keep playing the next down, treat it like a normal game.
Well, we know you have a lot of stuff to do this week, and we are conscious of letting you go and do your work. But we do have one just really important question that you've weaseled out of two consecutive.
Having me on here. Thanks for having me on here.
You've weaseled out of two consecutive weeks.
Catch you guys next week.
You're not going to answer, are you? You're supposed to tell us who you would give the media member award to of the media, given that you were the Eagle that got the media member award, and you won't answer it.
Like I said, you're going to ruin all the relationships that I've built in the last 7 years. I've worked hard to build with these media members.
You are.
But they're all frauds, Jordan.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, you should just say you don't like any of them.
It's not true.
Well, all right. So we'll push it off another week, I guess.
We got another week. We'll wait the next week.
By the way, after football, and if you decide not to be a professional singer, you should become a politician because your ability to dodge difficult questions seems to be excellent. Top tier.
Oh, man, I appreciate that.
All right, Jordan.
All right, brother. Good luck Sunday.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.